Hello, my name is Chris Palmer, and in today's local SEO video, I'd like to share with you how you can rank on Google Maps. Now, this video, I really want to talk about citations because that's really one of the first things that comes to mind when we start talking about local SEO. Now, really what I'm getting at is those Google pin citations that are being sold on some of our favorite outsourced platforms, but those services that are dropping a trillion pins, they're really missing the mark. And I want to talk with you on a more advanced way that you can achieve rankings. Now, what I'm going to talk with you today is what I call wave citations. This is building citations in waves, which this service is derived from because a lot of the pros build citations in waves. And that's what I want to share with you today, because they've taken a good piece of what is actually working, they've made it look really good, but it actually doesn't have any functionality. It doesn't work. It's non-beneficial. However, with the steps that I'm going to lay out today, these pins can be beneficial, but it's only part of a process. So let's not waste any time. Let me share with you today citation waves. So let's talk about this. So generally, all right, and here's what I want to share with you. So we will have our main website, all right? This is also called our money site, okay? So we'll have our money site. So this is our money site, all right? Now down here, what this is our citation sources. Now citation sources, there's multiple different types, all right, of citation sources. You know, there's structured citations, there's unstructured citations, but generally when you build out your first wave of citations, that's why it's called waved citation building. The very first wave of citations, and let me just put this here. So this is our citations. This is our citation sources. This is multiple sources, all right? I'm just drawing it out to make it simple. So our citation sources generally, and it should be this way, will contain our NAP, which is going to be consistent, even though it doesn't always have to be because these platforms will have variations. So it's never consistent completely. So, but that's another video for another day. But this NAP is generally going to the money site, but not just the money site, the home page. All right. So this is going to be our first wave. Generally, and this is just more than one, but again, I'm drawing it out to make it simple to understand. So our money site will generally point to the main homepage. This is our first wave. And then generally what is done, and let's go ahead and build this out. Generally what is then done is you will see these services, these pin drops, you'll get the My Maps, and they'll drop all of their pins, okay? And then it will list their services, all right? Generally, they'll go out and they'll embed those. They'll put them on Web 2s. And it is the beginning of a good idea, but let me share with you the waved technique and how this should really be done to maximize benefit for you, all right? So this is generally the concept and what is done, all right? But here's what you should be doing, and this will certainly benefit you a lot more in the long run. Not at first, because I feel that all of your SEO and all of your optimizations and the strategy that you follow needs to be done in waves, all right? And that's why I call this the wave, because, you know, your GMB optimizations, you add your photos, everything is done in sections, okay? Not all at once. I mean, unless you're very, you know, go-getter, but generally you want to apply a few optimizations, see what happens. But let's walk through this, all right? So first and foremost, just like here, we have our money site, okay? So this is our main money site. Now down here, we have our citations, okay? And these are our citation sources. Now again, our very first layer is, of course, this is in red, is going to come up to here. This is our first wave going to our money page. This is our very first wave of citations. Now, we want to skip over that and we let some time pass. We want to skip over this, okay? This is no. We don't want to be doing this kind of stuff, all right? I mean, this is good. This first layer is really good. But generally in a lot of niches, especially in these larger, metropolitan areas, harder competition, it takes a little bit more. We need more digital references, aka citations. So let me walk through. So that very first wave is really good, but generally our websites are more than one page. And more so, Google doesn't rank sites, it ranks pages. Each page is its own standalone entity. That's how I want you to look at it. It's its own standalone thing. You have to do optimization for keywords, page by page basis. You have to send links and anchor text page by page basis. It's the same exact thing when we're building citations, all right? It's the same thing. It's page by page, area by area, all right? So our first one is our first wave. The second wave, because we'll say that we have our location pages, and then off of our location, so this is a location page, right? So let's say Pennsylvania, PA. And then off of that is one of our services. Maybe we do, if we're a plumber, we could say we do drain repair, right? Drain repair. Maybe we do tool repair, right? Maybe we do whatever it is, all right? And then off of this location page or a category page, maybe we would have another location. And then off of that, we'll have other services. So when we're doing waved citation building, not only are we doing our very first wave, which is this one, going to our homepage to give out digital references, but when we're trying to target multiple areas, especially larger areas, we need to do a second wave. And where they're giving you and talking about doing the pin drops, or these my maps, and then embedding them, this can be beneficial to start building brand dominance in a particular area. It's another way, another signal to give to Google, and then you're spreading it out, sending embeds, sending traffic through those. This can be helpful, but they're missing a step, right? They're shortcutting it, and they're just selling the, hey, this sounds good, but they're missing a whole step. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more. So our second wave of citations is, okay, we have our citation sources. It can be the same sources, all right? But when we're building out and we're building links to these pages and starting to build out our entity and starting to build signals to these locations, and we're talking about these locations, we should start then building out our second wave of citations to these particular pages. So our second wave could be, hey, this is going to go to our Pennsylvania, all right, Pennsylvania page. And then we have a whole nother wave of citations. Then when we build out our citations, let's make this a little bit smaller. I want to talk about this a little more. Then when we build out our second citation, okay, we're building out our second citations. Let's bring this over here. Now I want to talk about how these maps can really start to help us. All right, so let's get into here. So here's our second wave of citations. Now we then go out and we create what is called a my map. Now we create our my map, and what a my map does is we're going to put, okay, this is our business for this area, and then we're going to list. So we'll have a my map giving directional analysis, directions basically from this particular location back to our business, to this particular location back to our business. Because when we're building out these my maps, we're going to say, okay, so here's our my map. We're going to build these out saying, okay, this is my business and here's the locations within this radius that I built. All right. Then we are taking those my maps. We've built a couple of them. And then we're going to then embed those maps into what is called Web 2s. So when you see those globes and it has all these dots on it, that's completely overboard. 2,300 pins on a my map. Really, it should only be a few pins on that my map talking about the services that we provide for a particular area, giving directions back to our business. Then we take those branded Web 2s, we take those branded my maps, we embed those onto the Web 2, and then we send traffic, which will do click-through traffic from the Web 2 to our entity. All right, I hope that this is making sense. So they're taking that good idea and they're just selling that, but they're missing the step of the multi-location citations. It starts with that because you have to signify and send the signal to Google, hey, this entity exists in this area. It services this area. It's all about entity awareness, sending the right signals to Google. It all starts with that citation. Obviously, on page, you need to have content that's consistent with the areas that you service and the services that you provide, but you also need to build those citations. And then to make it one step further, we're building out branded assets, Web 2.0 assets, other assets. Even if you want to build a whole nother website talking about a particular location, embedding those maps, driving traffic, whether it's paid or not, organic or not, to those entities that's providing click-through back to our website. These are massive signals to Google, and this is the step that they're missing. We need to start mirroring our citations, waving out our citations, building out more citations in waves, and build out other entities to create an overall entity, especially a geolocation entity to our business and other locations that we service, along with the services we provide, and having content and talking about those locations on our website. So I hope that this makes sense. I wanted to bring this full circle for you, all right? It's all about building brand awareness, entity relation to locations and talking about services, building relationships between your business and other locations. That's how you get more searches. That's how you expand your proximity. That's how you dominate a niche. That's how you dominate a location. You're building out more assets, more content, more citations, more. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions about local SEO, entity SEO, digital marketing, Facebook ads, Instagram, really anything SEO, local SEO, digital marketing related, always feel free to go ahead and leave it in the comments below. And I most certainly look forward to seeing you in the next local SEO, how to rank in Google Maps video. Have a wonderful day.